Hi, everybody. It's great to see you all. Oh boy. All right. So I will bring up my page here. There she is. There I am. All right. So let's see here. Turn that off. Somehow I'm not loading. What's going on here? Lisa, what's going on? Am I live? Am I not live? Can you see me? Oh boy. Let's see here if anybody can see me. All right. I know I'm live because I see people. All right. Hi, everybody. So I am excited to be here. Hope you're having a good lunch. Hi, Linda. Hello. Good to see you. So I hope you're having a great lunch. Brenda, thank you for that. I couldn't see because it wasn't loading on Facebook. There I am. All right. Beautiful. Just checking the technology here. So it's wonderful to see everybody. And I don't know why sometimes time goes faster than other times. I wanted to share with everybody today something a little out of the norm. Some of the women who have gone through my course have heard me read this poem before. I want to read for all of you my favorite love poem. This is the poem that my husband read to me on our wedding day. And it was a beautiful coincidence that it was both of our favorite poems. So, yes, it is a beautiful love poem, and I'm going to read it to you, and then I'll explain why I feel that this is a perfect poem, why it so perfectly describes what it's like to meet your soulmate, or what I call the guardian of your soul. So this is called The True Love, and it's by David Whyte, Whyte. There is a faith in loving fiercely the one who is rightfully yours, especially if you've waited years, and especially if part of you never believed you could deserve this loved and beckoning hand held out to you this way. I am thinking of faith now, and the testaments of loneliness, and what we feel we are worthy of in this world. Years ago, in the Hebrides, I remember an old man who walked every morning on the gray stones to the shore of the baying seals, who would press his hat to his chest in the blustering salt wind and say his prayer to the turbulent Jesus hidden in the water. And I think of the story of the storm and everyone waking and seeing the distant yet familiar figure far across the water calling to them, and how we are all preparing for that abrupt waking and that calling and that moment when we have to say yes, except it will not come so grandly, so biblically, but more subtly and intimately in the face of the one you know you have to love. So that when we finally step out of the boat toward them, we find everything holds us and confirms our courage. And if you wanted to drown, you could, but you don't, because finally, after all the struggle and all the years, you don't want to anymore. You've simply had enough of drowning, and you want to live and you want to love, and you will walk across any territory and any darkness, however fluid and however dangerous, to take the one hand you know belongs in yours. So to me, having found the guardian of my soul and having walked across any territory and any darkness, however fluid and however dangerous, to take his hand, I know what this means. Most of us are waiting for that abrupt waking, that moment when we have to say yes. But the truth is, it won't be that grand for most of us. It won't be moonbeams and unicorns and pixie dust and, Cupid's arrow hitting us. And that moment where we just say, oh my God, this is him. It will come more subtly, more gradually, in the face of the one you know you have to love. So when I met my husband, Benjamin, it was a deep knowing. I didn't have those over-the-top feelings. It wasn't like some kind of grand event in my life. It was actually very much the opposite from that. I remember meeting him, and I remember looking into his eyes when we met and thinking, oh my God, this is the kindest man I've ever met. And I had no idea how our lives would fit together. None. I didn't know. And I wasn't holding on to anything. I didn't have an agenda. I just knew that this man was different from all the other men who had come before him. And I knew as I sat back and watched him that he was showing up in a way that no other man had ever shown up for me. He was showing up in the way I had been longing for a man to show up for me. And it was the most beautiful experience. I can't even put words to it, but it was far more magnificent than any abrupt waking, any divine experience, because it was real. It was the real deal. I knew that I had met a man who was different from any other man I'd ever known, a real man who knew how to show up for a woman. And in that, there was no angst, no anxiety, no fear. I wasn't worried if he was going to call me or if days would go by that I wouldn't hear from him. There was something just real about this and something right about it. In fact, when I was dating my husband in the early days, I never even asked myself, where is this going? Or should I text him? I remember when he and I first met, I had so many things going on in my life. I was really busy. Oops. The cleaning crew just banged the wall. I just had so much going on in my life. I was genuinely busy. I had a business and I was traveling and I was doing all kinds of spiritual growth work. And I remember I met him. We had our first date, and then I went away to Vietnam for 3.5 weeks. And then he marked it on his calendar and called me the day I got back. But I never had to worry. There was never a moment where I questioned, I have people coming in town. Should I invite this man to join us for dinner? I actually have a pen pal who I got connected with through the back of an Archie comic book when I was really young. And this man had been in my life for many, many years. And he and his sister were coming to California. They were coming on vacation. And I had just gotten back from Vietnam from this business trip I had done. And I was, Mark and his sister were coming. And so there really was no time for me to fit in a date with Benjamin in there. And so I just said to him, would you like to join us? My pen pal's coming to town with his sister, and it would be wonderful for you to meet them. And he jumped at the chance. He said, yes, I'd love to. And he even got us tickets to something in LA called the Magic Castle, which is really hard to get into. You have to know somebody to be able to go there. It's a magician's club, and there you have dinner. It's kind of a cool place. And then magicians will do acts and, do magic tricks, and there's different shows that you can see. And Benjamin had a magician friend, so he called him and he got tickets for all four of us. One of the coolest things, and this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but my pen pal Mark was a huge rock and roll fan. And I was telling him about how much I loved a group called the Pixies. Does anybody know? Is anyone out there a Pixies fan? Anyway, I was really into the Pixies at the time, and it coincidentally turned out that Mark was sitting on the stool at the bar, and right next to him was the drummer from the Pixies when we went to the Magic Castle. So it really was magic, right? But it was a different kind of magical experience. It wasn't grand. It wasn't biblical. It was just a deep knowing. There was a calmness to meeting a man who was secure, who showed up over and over and over again without me having to do anything. A man who was pursuing me, who wanted to get to know me, who cherished spending time with me. But there was nothing that made me feel anxious. And I didn't feel anxious because of the consistency. Many, many of my clients will say to me, Lisa, I have to tell you that I've never felt this in my life. When they meet the guardian of their soul, it's a revelation. And they will say, I've never felt anything like this. Now I know what you mean, what it means to have a man who truly is grounded and secure and really is making the effort to get to know me. Not a man who's love bombing me or over the top or trying to prove himself to me or trying to sweep me off my feet, but a man who really genuinely wants to get to know me, wants to build a deep, beautiful, powerful, lasting emotional connection with me. Hi, Kay. It's great to see you. This is different. This is what it's really like to take the hand of the one you know belongs in yours. That's what's so powerful. Please check out this poem. It's by David Whyte, Whyte, and it's called The True Love. And true love is one word. I'm going to see if I can, this is a long ass poem here to stick in the chat. And I think all of the formatting is gone, but I'm putting it out there anyway. And I just posted it about 10 times because there's something, it's asking me if I want to put the user in a timeout because it keeps posting it. I knew Benjamin. It didn't take me long. Oh, Miriam, thanks. That's good to know. So it didn't take me long to know, to really see who Benjamin is. So I'm going to tell you that a lot of you are in in this place where you're trying to sort out, do I date him? Don't I date him? Is this the right guy? Is he showing me the right attention? We're all in our heads trying to figure it out. And I will tell you that the real work you have to do is on you to figure this out. You're not going to figure it out there. The real work is on you. So it's internal. And what happens is you do this internal work on yourself, as you start to get clearer on who you are, what you love, what's right for you, you start to gain clarity. You can start to see very clearly who the person is sitting across from you on a date. It just is a natural byproduct of, that the more clarity you gain for yourself, the more everything out there becomes clearer. And so I had been doing 8 years of interpersonal work. I'd been working on myself with Don Miguel Ruiz. I'd been getting my master's in spiritual psychology, going to a 12-step program. And all of that work was instrumental in helping me gain the clarity inside myself to really be able to know what real honesty, integrity, openness, availability looked like and sounded like, so that when I met Benjamin, I just looked in this man's eyes and I thought to myself, wow, this is the kindest man I've ever met in my life. And then he sat across from me on this date, and he was just fully present with me through the whole thing. He was just there. His attention wasn't all over the place. There was nothing random or haphazard about the way he was being with me. He was completely present and focused with me and truly in the moment. I don't know if I've ever met anyone who is as genuinely present as my husband is, who's as genuinely in the present moment. And he was right there with me through the entire date. I don't think I've ever been listened to the way I felt I was being listened to on that first date with Benjamin. So I was able to see who he was because of the work I had done on myself. And I knew quickly. Now, did I know if we were going to work out? Nah, I didn't know, because there were a lot of variables, right? There was a lot that had to work out, that we had to discover about each other to see if it could turn into a lasting relationship. But I could see that he really liked me. I could tell that, he was pursuing me. I knew that Benjamin was very interested in getting to know me and, getting to see where this went. But I wasn't projecting into the future. I had done that in the past and I knew it didn't work. And I just was staying present and enjoying the process of the two of us getting to know each other. But, I didn't know he lived on one side of Los Angeles. I lived on another. We were about 45 minutes apart in traffic. He lived and worked out of his home. I didn't know how we were going to bring our lives together, or if we could bring our lives together. Who knew, right? All of that was to be determined. But what I did know was that I was sitting across from an absolutely extraordinary man. And he was very interested, or showing tremendous interest in me. So that's what I knew. And I knew that I wanted to discover where it was going to go. I was very, very excited about the possibility that I saw. I did see, whoops, I didn't want to put that up there. Let me do that. All right. I didn't want to, I just wanted to see where it would go. So that's what I did. I spent some time, we just got to know each other. So in answer to your question, I think I knew probably by our 5th date if this was that this really had legs and that we were going to go somewhere. So I want to know, have any of you met the guardian of your soul? Have any of you ever had the experience of what I read in that poem? Have any of you had that experience? Of what I read in the David Whyte poem? Have any of you had that feeling of taking the one hand, the one hand belongs in yours, and having really gone through that journey in your life, crossed those waters, those uncharted territories, no matter how dangerous. Has anyone done that work and actually found that person? Or do you know somebody who has? Because it's really, we all want this. Linda says she had a beautiful love in her life. I know you did, Linda. I know. And Colleen says, yes. Colleen, only with your mother. Beautiful, Miriam. Yeah. So it is something I think most of us just get impatient and we want it to happen. And one of the saddest things is for me as a coach, Doreen says, oh, Doreen, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you lost the love of your life. Oh, but you had 34 years together, which is a miracle. That's truly a miracle. And Emma, you said that you think you've met this person recently. How wonderful. How wonderful. Emma, what's it like for you? Did you hear me read the poem, the David Whyte poem? And did that resonate for you when I read it? Did any of that sound familiar to you? Because I think he describes this so beautifully. So beautifully. Yeah. One of the things I know, and not that I'm morbid, but one of the things I know is that every single day of my life with my husband is a gift, because I know it won't last. I know that it is something fleeting, that I'm living the most beautiful part of my life right now, and I don't want to miss a single moment of it. I know that there will come a day where Benjamin and I will no longer be able to be together. And so I cherish every single day that we have. Nancy says, I've been dating someone for 3 months and have a wonderful connection, but the social media addiction he has drove me nuts. And specifically one woman loving and liking all of his posts and flirting for me to see. Nancy, that's something that he also, I don't know all the details, but I would think that would be something that he should have put a stop to. That if that was inappropriate and she was crossing a line, you're looking for a man who would have put an end to that and wouldn't have let that go on. So while she was doing that, if he allowed it to keep happening and it was truly bothering you, then it should have, and she was crossing a line, it sounds like, he should have stopped it. Miriam says, unconditional love between two people who aren't parent, child, or siblings, longing and yearning for this deep connection. He did, and he's just taking a break from all the posting. Well, that's beautiful. That's just beautiful. That's wonderful that he did that. And maybe it's a good thing, Nancy, that he's taking a break from all the social media posting. I don't understand. I post only personally, for personal reasons, but not. And I think it's, there's all different reasons why people are on social media. But it's just a real time waster. I mean, I look back and I never post anything really personal. I post for my work and so that I can connect with my audience. But my love is, I have my friends and my family and we communicate with each other. And I don't know. Some people just love posting their stuff on social media. That's wonderful, Nancy. So the two of you have stopped posting and are just focusing more on your relationship. That's really wonderful, wonderful. And it's so great to hear so many of you who have had or are meeting wonderful men and or have had beautiful relationships. It's really, to me, this is the most extraordinary part of life is being able to have that, to share this with a partner, to share this whole beautiful journey of life with your lover and your playmate and your best friend. When I was younger, when I was working, sorting this all out for myself, I woke up one day and I realized that, work was work. I would always work and have my career. And I even felt I had this deep intuition that my career would flourish after I met my partner. But the thing I wanted more than anything in the world was to find true love. And that is what that was my main focus. And that's what came to pass. I actually found the love of my life. Benjamin looked at me one day and said, he said, you may have been excited about being an importer at one time, but your real passion now is personal transformation. And you really might want to consider being a therapist or becoming a therapist or a coach. And I called an old boyfriend and he bought my importing business, and I enrolled in coaching training and became one of the first love coaches. So that's how I got here. And it seems like everything I did in my life leading up to that moment was really about this, becoming a coach so I could help all of you find true love, which is really my passion. I live this every day, and I love helping my clients and other women make this happen in their lives. So if you haven't seen my presentation and you're still out there looking, please go to lisashield.com and check it out. And if you like what you hear, we can jump on a call and I will talk to you about how we can get this solved, because it really is, to me, the best life is a life that you live with someone you love by your side, creating dreams, creating, I did some videos over the weekend, and one of the videos that I did, it talks about how Benjamin and I created an entire new life for ourselves in the pandemic. We just up and moved from LA to Santa Fe, New Mexico. We bought a home here. We never went back to LA. We had everything shipped to us here. And we're building an entire new life together post-pandemic. So we got 2 COVID puppies, and Benjamin, who couldn't work during the pandemic, started helping me out more in my business. And it's just been a wonderful, just a year that could have really been hell has turned into something remarkable, and really all because we had each other and we were able to do this together. So if you're there and you didn't have such a good pandemic year and you found yourself wishing that you had had your partner by your side, your true love, to go through an experience like that with, please go and watch my presentation. It's just 45 minutes, but it really can change your life. At least that's what women tell me. So Miriam posted the link to the True Love. If you liked this video, please give me some thumbs up or some hearts. It lets me know that you enjoyed yourself. This is only a half an hour talk, but I also do on tomorrow, on Tuesdays, I'm going to put this in the chat, on Tuesdays from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time, I do another live. Okay, so please come and join me for that. That one is an hour long. And, I just want to leave you with this. The guys that sweep you off your feet, the ones who say all the right things from the start, the ones that make you question, is this real? Or is this guy just telling me what he thinks I want to hear? Is the other shoe going to drop? Those are not the guys you want to be looking for. Just like David Whyte wrote in The True Love, it's not going to come so grandly or biblically in the face of the one you have to love. It's just, you're going to be tired of all the years of struggle and all the years where you felt like you were drowning. And you're going to realize that it's going to be subtler or subtler. I never know how to pronounce that word. But it will be more subtle. It won't be so grand, but there will be a man who just keeps showing up and showing up and showing up. And he will be kind and he will be secure and he will make you feel safe. Pay attention to that man, even if he isn't the most exciting man you've ever met, because that could be the guardian of your soul. That could be the one hand belongs in yours. All right, I will see you next time. Please come back, join me again. This was lovely, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everybody.